What's up, Rockets Nation? Brace yourselves because today's video is one of those that'll make you puff out your chest and silence the critics. A bombshell update just dropped that completely changes the narrative of our season and puts Houston on a pedestal many doubted was possible this soon. We've gone from being just a fun up-and-coming team to becoming a real nightmare for our rivals in the West. And there's more. You know that anxiety from the last few games with key players out? Forget about it. A major reinforcement is coming back that's going to make the league tremble. You won't believe what we've got today. So sit back, subscribe to the channel to keep me motivated to create more content like this, smash that like button, and let's get straight to the news. Many analysts spent years ignoring what was being built here in Houston, treating us like a rudderless group of kids, but the tables have turned in a way no one can pretend not to see anymore. We are living a historic moment in this 2025-26 season. If you look at the standings objectively, you'll see we're sitting fourth in the West with a solid 12-4 record, which would already be plenty of reason to celebrate. But the news shaking up the NBA backchannels goes way beyond the simple standings. The respected Mark Stein, one of the most discerning journalists in the league, just ranked the Houston Rockets as the second-best team in the entire NBA in his latest power rankings. That's right. Second-best team in the league, jumping from sixth in just 1 week. And this isn't empty hype. It's a stone-cold fact. Our 4 losses were to the Thunder, Pistons, Spurs, and Nuggets. Teams that combined have an absurd record of 53 wins and 11 losses. In other words, we only lose to the cream of the crop. What makes this rise to the top of the rankings even more impressive is the context of adversity. We are steamrolling opponents even with a packed injury report. Fred VanVleet, Tari Eason, Dorian Finney-Smith, and Steven Adams have all missed court time, yet the team hasn't stopped. The depth of this roster is being tested and passing with flying colors. Who would have thought Aaron Holiday would have clutch moments saving the day? And, mainly, we need to talk about Reed Sheppard. The kid many rivals tried to label a bust too early is making those people look ridiculous now, playing big boy basketball and silencing the haters with every possession. The most fascinating part of this analysis putting us at the top is the style of play. We are swimming against the tide of the modern NBA and winning our way. While the whole league is obsessed with chucking up 43s a game, the Rockets are the team shooting the least from the perimeter. We are a throwback team with a jumbo lineup, playing 2 bigs longer than anyone else, grabbing rebounds on over 40% of our missed shots, and scoring in the mid-range. It's bully ball at its finest. We're playing zone nearly 20% of the time and confusing opposing offenses. The recognition arrived because we've imposed physical respect. No one wants to play Houston today because they know they'll leave bruised and likely defeated. This modern bad boys identity, not needing to follow the three-point trend to dominate, is what separates us from the average teams. And look, we built this reputation as the second-best team in the league even without our most lethal weapon on the floor in recent matchups, which leads us to think the ceiling for this team is actually non-existent. If we're already number 2 like this, imagine what happens when the full cavalry arrives. And speaking of the full cavalry, the next update is simply the cherry on top we needed to fully explode. If we were already celebrating global recognition of our physical and tactical power, this news is enough to leave any Jazz fan shaking in their boots before the ball even tips off. The Houston Rockets are officially ready to welcome back none other than Kevin Durant for this Sunday's showdown in Salt Lake City. KD, who missed the last 2 games due to personal family matters, is confirmed to return to the lineup and lead an offense that has already been one of the league's most lethal. And let's be honest, we survived just fine without him, winning both games he missed, which just proves Ime Udoka's point about our depth. The coach was surgical when he said we have a standard of play regardless of who is in or out, but having one of the greatest scorers in history back is that cheat code we love. Durant's return comes at a moment when the team is, literally, on fire. We've won 7 of our last 8 games, including that spectacular comeback against the Golden State Warriors on Wednesday. And here I need to make a huge note about what happened in KD's absence. Reed Sheppard, the sophomore, didn't just replace the offensive production. He exploded for a career-high 31 points against the Warriors. The kid held down the fort when the team wasn't shooting well and showed we have triggers at every position. The Rockets' offense is flying, averaging an absurd 119.3 points over the last 8 games, winning by an average margin of over 13 points. It's a steamroller. Now, imagine reinserting Kevin Durant into this ecosystem that's already flowing perfectly. It's terrifying for any defense. However, we can't get complacent. The game is against the Utah Jazz, and despite being in a rebuild, they are dangerous at home. The Jazz beat the Sacramento Kings on Friday, snapping a losing streak, and their young guys are playing loose. Keontae George dropped 31 points, and Lauri Markkanen, who has changed his game and is now a threat cutting to the basket and playing physically, scored 28. Jazz coach Will Hardy praised their defense heavily in that last game. And there's a stat we can't ignore. The Jazz are a completely different beast playing in Salt Lake City. Of their 6 wins this season, 5 came at home. They are home court lions and road kittens. So, the Rockets need to come in focused not to fall into the trap of a young, motivated team. But with KD back and confidence through the roof after being named the second-best team in the league, the expectation is that we go there and impose our will from the first minute. The chemistry between Durant's experience and the explosive youth of Shepherd and company is creating something special, and this game against the Jazz is the perfect opportunity to solidify our position at the top of the West before a tougher stretch. We are facing a perfect storm, nation. On one hand, we are validated as the second biggest force in the current NBA, imposing a physical and retro style the league doesn't know how to stop. On the other, we get Kevin Durant back exactly when our offense hits peak fluidity, with Reed Shepherd playing like a veteran. Everything seems to be falling into place for something huge this year. But I need to keep it real here. With KD returning, how does the ball distribution look for Shepherd, who just shined? Will we maintain this chemistry, or will we have to readapt the offensive flow? Now I want to hear from you. Is this rise to the top 2 in the rankings sustainable through the playoffs, or are we just living through a hot streak? And will KD's return maximize or slow down the development of the young guys? Comment below because I'm going to read everything. Don't forget to smash that like button and subscribe, because the Rocket season is just starting to heat up.